What is going on, guys? Canadian or Unique here. Today we're on some Hypixel Smash Heroes. How's everybody doing today? What should we play as today? I'm thinking, should we just do one of these little ones? Let's try Cake, because I got obliterated by a cake the last episode, so maybe I got buffed, maybe. Okay, so today's kind of here. Earlier today I actually spent some time and cleaned out my computer. Not software sided, but I actually rebuilt my computer because the current fan setup was just, it wasn't, there was no, whoa. There was no actual orientation for the fans. They were all going their own little ways. Some of them were sucking in, some of them were blowing out. But they didn't quite benefit each other, and what I mean by that is when you set up your fans, you want the general direction of the air to be going in one spot, not all scrambled around your computer like. So say you have all your fans at the front sucking in and all the fans at the back blowing out. If you can see, there is a clear flow of air that's coming in from the front and going out the back, making sure there's nothing being scrambled around. And that's basically what I did. Plus, my CPU cooler, it's looking for the box here. The Hyper 512 or 212 or whatever Evo. It's like it's a Cooler Master, one of the like $59 block power. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. Not power supply, CPU cooler. And basically, the last time I put it on, when we moved here, I needed to reapply the thermal paste. So I reapplied the thermal paste, and then when we moved here, well, this is when I did this, but I did it in a rush because I just wanted my computer. We just moved a long day. I just wanted to hop on. So I was doing it too quick. I wasn't quite paying attention to the bracket that mounts down the CPU cooler was actually not in the right position. I noticed it was like 5% of the CPU cooler wasn't touching the CPU and the CPU was exposed, and then the other 5% on the opposite side of the CPU cooler was hanging over the CPU. So I'm like, this literally isn't right. This is not right, and I gotta fix it. But I wasn't bothered to fix it right then. I was like, man, it'll probably be fine. And surprisingly, it got up max load. It was like 81, 82 degrees, something like that. So that was another thing I changed. Redid all the thermal paste on it. Ooh. Redid all the thermal paste and redid all the fans. Added another fan to the CPU cooler, so the one on the front intakes air and blows it through the heatsink fins, and then the one on the other side sucks it right out of it. So there's no just ambient air blowing through there. It's kind of being turbo sucked through there, and then the sucking fan goes right to the back. It's probably about 4 inches from the back panel on my PC case, so I put another fan going out my case that sucks all that air directly from my CPU right out, giving it like little to no space to get into the case. So there's not that much heat in my case anymore. There's a bit of ambient heat from the motherboard and the GPU, because I do not now have a fan for the side panel since I added one to the CPU cooler block. And I know some of you guys won't actually know what I'm talking about. You'll be like, huh? But basically, the thing that keeps your CPU cool, because if you didn't have it, it would literally fry an egg. It's basically a big piece of metal that's connected to your CPU. You've probably seen it in your case. A big thing with fins on it, and usually a fan in the middle of your motherboard. And it's a big piece of metal that's connected to the CPU using thermal paste, which is basically a liquid paste that seals the gap for the thermal dissipation. Because obviously, if you're touching metal to metal, there's always going to be a bit of a gap anyways, but when you're putting liquid in between, you're basically sealing those gaps, and when it's thermal conductive liquid that's made of a silver compound, well, mine at least is Arctic silver, it basically sucks the heat from the CPU and dissipates it on that big metal block, so you don't have all that heat on your CPU. And then you usually have a fan there just to get rid of that heat even further. So yeah, that was basically what I redid today. Yeah, I redid the fan positioning. Like I said, it was all messed up, so I brought it so the air comes in at the front and goes out at the back, because I actually have a heater at the back, so I don't want it to be intaking air from where there's a heater. So I want it to be intaking it from the front, the bottom of the computer, because cold sink and heat rises. So it's best to have them at the front and on the bottom to suck in the coldest air, basically. And I was just cleaned everything up, gave everything a little alcohol bath, kind of wiped everything down with isopropyl alcohol, because that just completely cleans things. Whoop. Okay. At this point, I just need a new case. The case I've had, I bought in 2012, December 2012. It was when I built my first PC, basically. I had a motherboard already, and I had it somehow fitting in a micro ATX. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's kind of confusing. But I had it fit into a computer case from a Dell computer when the motherboard isn't supposed to fit in there because of the protocol size. And anyways, well, I cut out some metal, got it to work for the graphics card I had, and I was like needing to buy a case, so I ended up buying a case, and that was basically my first computer build. Was Christmas of 2012. I just walked off the edge. That was pretty bad. And look where we are now, guys. That was when I only had a single monitor. I never could imagine. I always dreamed, it's like I just want 3 concurrent monitors. I always hope for them to be the same size, but I mean, I'm halfway there. I got 4 concurrent, but they're not all the same size. And the reason they're not all the same size is because I started off with the smallest monitor when I didn't have a job or money to purchase a monitor, and then I ended up having someone give me another monitor, which is the one on the top, which I ended up using I ended up wasting my last life there as a second monitor because it was smaller than the first one I had. And eventually I bought a 16:9 monitor because it was on sale for $69, regular 100 and something. So I was like, yes, that's a good deal. It was refurbished, but it looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's working now. And then I got a job, and then I was like, I need a 1920 by 1080 monitor because you cannot record in post true 1080 if you're not playing on a 1080 monitor. So I went ahead and got that 1080 monitor, and here we are. We have 4. My computer in total can support 7. My GTX 960 can support 4, and the use of using multiple graphics cards on my motherboard because I have the built-in Intel graphics. The Intel built-in graphics, my motherboard can hold 3 concurrent displays as it is, so I can hold 7 different displays. So the plan is, oh my god, that bulk though. So the plan is to have 6 displays in front of me, and then have 1 attached to a TV, which is going to be like in front of my bed or something. And that's just the most convenience. No need to switch over any connectors because they are all there, all right there. No need to hit source because TV, I wouldn't have cable or DVD player. I just have DVD rips off my computer, and my DVD player would be my computer. So it all works out. All I need now is another 2 monitors and a TV. So I'm looking for a job since we just moved here like February 1st, so looking for a job. Once I find a job, I will be getting all these new computer parts, but my honest first priority is a mouse because this mouse I'm using has a very low IPS, which is inches per second, which is the amount it can scan on a mouse pad per second. And when you flick your mouse, because I use low sensitivity most times, when you flick your mouse, as you can see, when I flick my mouse, it just glitches, but if I just move my mouse, it'll twist. It's weird. That's because of that, and I raged on my mouse. That story's on an earlier video, actually. But yeah, my mouse and keyboard are actually going to be my first priority because I always neglected them. The keyboard I'm looking for is a Corsair K70 RGB. Awesome mechanical keyboard. I'm not sure if I'm going to get Cherry MX browns, reds, or blues. If anybody has any information on the keys, I actually haven't looked up, or just personally know what one feels better, let me know. I'd like to know. Are you recording? Yes. Yes, I am. Yes. Okay. So now we're gonna throw cake. Kind of gonna focus here because we're kind of neck and neck here. I'm pretty sure well, I know for a fact that guy's a pretty good bulk. I think he's killed me twice. Can I play a game with you? Actually, dude, after this game, I'm going to be stop recording if you hit me up tomorrow, definitely, Zach, I can't reply right now. I will reply after the game, but you will probably see this video and understand. So if you hit me up tomorrow, on whenever you see me on, just send me a message like you did, and yeah, I will hop into a game with you if I'm about to record. I only actually play Hypixel for about 2 or 3 hours a day because I actually do a lot on my computer, developing a server, and not just developing a server with public plugins. I'm developing all the plugins personally, only myself, and it's basically only me working on this big server that I'm trying to make correctly, and it's not going to be released until, well, it's just got a lot of features, and yeah, I don't wanna rush the release because that's how servers fail. And I also been watching my favorite TV show, Lost, which is an old one, but it's just been my favorite, and this is gonna be my last time watching it because I don't think I can watch it and take it seriously anymore after this. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed today's kind of more random episode of Smash, leave a like and subscribe, and I thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Peace.